Okay, thank you. Thank you very much for all this nice discussion. And I think we will continue to talk about all that. Here, I just would like to show you our experience about technology transfer for the items. Um, and yes, you will see it will be an application, in fact, of what Agnès told us, some application. So in fact, the first thing sorry, up, voilà. So the first thing in the technology transfer is showing that it's working. So to make this proof of concept, we started with Mayotte, then mainland France. The colleagues of UK also did this proof of concept. So each time it's the traffic item index for yes here with DNA and here with microscopy. Switzerland, Spain, Sweden, and Portugal. So you can see all these countries made the proof of concept. However, none of these countries have formally accepted. In none of these countries, the methodology with DNA has been formally accepted, except in the UK. But we will be able to talk about that later if you want. What we did also is that we published, so in open access publication, so all the steps from the sampling to the barcode choice, to the reference library, to what else, to the pipeline, the correction factor, also the indices, and okay, so many things. All this is published in scientific papers on open and are open access. What else? What we did also, we have open access protocols, so we will be able, if you're interested, send you all the DOI if you want to download all that. We have also open access tools that you can use for free. What else? As Agnès said, it's important to have a standardization process. So we have some technical reports which have been accepted at European level, and it's still an ongoing process. And there is a working group, which is working group 28, where DNA and eDNA methods are discussed, and where we have some standards which are proposed. And we also have a European project, so it will start in September, eDNA Aquaplan, where it's again here there is a work package on the standardization. What else? In our research unit, we have a spin-off company, and in this spin-off company, so we are mostly hydrobiologists. The name is Sigma Bio, and in this company, we have a former PhD student who's working and who's able to propose some eDNA analysis, including diatoms, the fish also, and many other things. And he's also training the people. So he's going in the labs and training, for instance, new private companies who want to adopt the methodology, and he's going there in these companies to help them and to train them. We are making some courses. So next photo will be, I think, the photo of you. So we already made several courses in France, and you can see that the groups are much smaller. And in fact, we are doing the course quite differently with more practice, in fact, but it was not possible with 120 people like it was for this course. What we are doing is also going into a mentoring process. In fact, the question that we got from the water managers is, so you scientists, you have a technology which is ready, you gave courses to private offices, and you gave them the protocols, so everything is ready, there are the tools and so on. But their question is, do the people in their private lab, in their private company, do they really apply correctly your protocol? When they are back to their lab, are they doing the job properly? And this is the first question. And the second question, as you say, Agnès, and it was the question also of Alexandra, how do the traditional analysts, the microscopists, so people who are making the microscopy and for diatoms, how will they find their place in this new methodology? How can we keep their knowledge, which is very important? And so we had this project with, so this is Agence de l'eau, it's a water agency. So they finance for the monitoring networks in a particular watershed of France. It's quite a huge watershed. And so they finance Sigma Bio, so where we have our PhD in this spin-off company. They finance him to have a mentoring with LPL, which is in fact a big company where they have sequencing facilities. For instance, they are sequencing when there are diseases for animals, cows, pigs. So, but they want to have also something about environment, and they wanted to start with diatoms. And this laboratory, Artemis, this is a colleague working on microscopy. And so there were these three people, so the water agency, who wanted to see how the technology transfer is carried out, how the mentoring is done, is it working well? And there was really this question of the necessity also to go to the certification and accreditation process. And it's a way to ensure the client that the work is done properly. And the results are good, in fact. Application to monitoring network. Sorry. Oh, sorry. Yes. So as you can see, almost all the transfer steps are achieved. We are really at the moment where the private offices are ready to use the protocols. But in fact, in France, we still not have the methodology which is applied in the official monitoring networks. And so this is a question, why is it still not applied? And this is a question I would like to ask you. Why do you think it's still not applied? Yes, because people are scared about new things. And why are they scared? Yes, exactly. Yeah. There is a first point of view. So when you are, maybe you can give the microphone to Yelena. No, but Yelena said an interesting thing.
Sorry, losing jobs.
Yeah,
Their
yeah,
jobs
yeah.
because you are
It's a first. It's a
classical
first thing. Yeah.
taxonomist.
Yeah.
At some stage of your career, it's very difficult to transfer to.
Yeah.
Then
So this is the point of view of the analyst. This is the point of view of the analyst. And when they are numerous and when there are close contacts with the water manager, it has an impact on this. And so what kind of other what can also step frighten the water manager? So this is the point of view of the analyst. Are there some water managers in the audience? I don't know. No? Only scientists? So, okay. Yeah.
I don't know, maybe they are afraid that the analysis might show actually the real condition that is not, maybe even lower or quality, and that we actually have more problems than now.
Sorry.
And maybe managers are afraid that actually these analysis that might be even more correct and so on will show that the results will be unfavorable.
Exactly.
Yes.
So this is another thing. The water manager. Tell me if it's correct what I am going to say. If it's your idea, the water managers are afraid that the new methodology will give a different water assessment than the former. That's an important point. They are afraid to change the methodology because maybe DNA will say it's not good status, it's moderate status. And so this is a very important point. Other points? There are some people working with molecular biology. You? Did you? Sorry? Bureaucracy. Bureaucracy. Yeah. Maybe we should stop the recording.
Conspiracies everywhere.
But yes, but in France too, you can't imagine us what level. But okay, but it's too vague. Maybe it's too vague. So you already pipette and so how many plastic waste we are producing with molecular biology?
I wouldn't think that that would be that much of a concern, since we already use a lot of plastic and glass waste by doing classical methods.
Yeah. With classical methods, Yelena, what do you think about that? With microscopy, what do you use?
Microscope methods, we have some chemicals which are very bad for environment.
Yeah.
Not so much plastic
Yeah.
less than DNA method barcoding, but with classical methods, we have problems and issues with chemicals, poison chemicals, and storage of that chemicals. It's important.
Yeah.
Thinking about
But,
environment. If you try to help environment, you don't want to pollute it.
Yes, exactly. But yes, when we had some colleagues from, let's say, the classical analysis with microscopy, so we invited to, they followed our courses, and the first reaction was, wow, what's the amount of waste we are producing for one sample? And so the plastic waste for molecular biology, it was really a big concern for many of them. And some water managers, I mean, for instance, of water agency, some of them are aware of that also, and it can be also a concern. Yeah. So I don't remember if I put other ideas on my. Ah, yes, I have another thing. So in terms of so the technology is ready, and it's a very maybe for some water managers it can be seen as a very complex methodology, where you need a lot of very specialized people like you in molecular biology. What do you think such kind of thing can frighten them? Yeah, in fact, some water managers are frightened that there are too few specialists of molecular biology to apply such methods to. You think it's the opposite, but that's the position of some water managers. They think that the methodology is very specialized, and it can be something problematic to apply it.
Maybe I'm wrong, but for me, that is just some technical thing. You need to learn that, you need to repeat some steps so many times. You need to, actually, you don't need to be biologist to do extraction DNA. You just need to repeat that a couple times, you will learn that. But to be expert in some group of organism, diatoms, phytoplankton, never mind, actually you need real knowledge. And one thing, when you want to develop some primers, that is one thing, but do some technical things is different, is my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong, but
No, I think you're totally right, and you gave good arguments.
Yeah.
So you're ready to convince your ministry?
We will tell them.
Yeah.
We already tell them that, but we will repeat. But when it comes to the bioinformatics, and that's a specialized knowledge, so I can see in the European countries, they do a lot to make it easier for water managers to fit into the bioinformatics, to facilitate them calculating the index by clicking the number to make them a software. So I think we can implement this if we lower the level of expertise that they need to do, but they of course need some training.
Yeah. Well, you see, I think you found more or less all the points. Maybe I forgot some. Agnès, I don't know, or Benjamin, or Clarisse, if you see other points, or someone else see other points that can stop the water managers from applying DNA methods. But yes, Agnès.
Something that it comes in my mind that when we spoke during these workshops about common trainings, we thought that together that it would be good to have common trainings between bioinformaticians and molecular biologists and taxonomists, so that because we thought that it was really important that they understand each other and they know why they are working together on a common objective. And this is not so easy to do. And but we have to build some trainings that bring all these people together.
Okay, so do you have questions before we go to the skill evaluation? You see, things can take more time than expected. This is the Amazon. See, you have questions? No questions?